Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today. I'm Paul Sweeney along with John Tucker, and we're joined by Bloomberg's Natalia Kinjevich. Natalia, what are you looking at here?
Let's start with the retail sector, guys. I'm looking at the Gap, ticker GAP. The stock is down by 20%, guys. It's a big move, the biggest actually since 2021. It's the most interesting. Exactly. Yeah. So the company, the move is largely driven by companies' expectations of how tariffs can impact sales. It said that tariff impact can be somewhere between 250 million to 300 million. And of course, we also saw some weakness in its brands Banana Republic and Athleta. At the same time, Gap and Old Navy, so these are the biggest brands in company's portfolio, they performed pretty well. So we see that sales, comparable store sales are up by 3% and 5% respectively. And the company continues to execute strong strategy, attract celebrities to promote those goods. So it's kind of not such a terrible report, but the market is so sensitive to any headlines on tariffs.
How much of what they make comes from countries have tariffs imposed on them?
CEO was on Bloomberg TV actually earlier, and he said that the goal is just like to mitigate the impact of tariffs to like a minimum. And I believe he said that the goal is for any specific country, like the exposure to be not above 20%, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so they really want to try to reroute some of those supply chains.
All right, what else you got?
Airbnb travel. So we see that Truist Securities cut recommendation to sell from hold. The ticker for the company is ABNB. The stock is now it's more or less flat. However, the stock is now trading at $128, but the target is now for Truist is 106. So it's almost a 20% decline from yesterday's close. Analysts is saying that summer leisure trends both in the US and Europe are not fully anticipated by analysts. At the same time, we also remember the latest earnings report, and the company really warned that outlook for the second quarter can be not as great, as they see a slowdown in sales and in travel demand in North America. However, globally, Asia Pacific region and Latin America are some of the brightest spots.
All right, one more.
Costco.
There we go.
Yes, the stock is up. Yes, by 2.3%, ticker COST. The main takeaway here is that the management wants to increase prices item by item. Okay. It's not going to be like a full large-scale increase in prices, and they're working on supply chains as well. And more or less, analysts are really happy, and they say that same-store sales are strong enough for company to mitigate all tariff impacts.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.